Shalom to you. In this video, we're going to go over a few problems to review for volumes of solids in preparation for the upcoming assessment. Okay, so we need to remember the general formula for volumes of prisms and cylinders, which is the area of the base times the height. This is the height of the prism. And then volumes of pyramids and cones is the same thing as volumes of prisms, except that you multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3, because pyramids is 1/3 of a prism that has the same height and base area. Likewise, cones are 1/3 of the cylinder that has the same base area and height. Okay, we need to remember that point. Let's do a problem. A square prism, but this is a prism. So if it's a prism, we know the volume is going to be the area of the base times the height. And now we're going to, since it's a square prism, so draw the square. The base is going to be a square. That's all we care about. The base is going to be a square, and so the area of a square, this is side, 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 side. All the four sides are going to be the same. So the area, which is the B, area of this base is going to be, since it's like a rectangle, is side times side, length times width. The length and the width are the same. So side, 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 side times side is side squared. So area of a square is side squared. So we need that. And so in our formula, we're going to plug in the volume is 349. The base area is side squared. The height we are given 6 inches tall is 6. And now we do the algebra. So we're going to divide both sides by 6 first, because we are solving for the variable s. That's the side length. So it's going to be 349 over 6 equals side squared. So this will cross out to be 1, 1. And now to find the volume, we're going to simplify by dividing both sides by the square root. And the square root is going to cross out. So the side is going to be, we plug that into our calculator. Okay. So we get the square root with second there, and then plug in the 349 divided by 6, all inside square root. Hit enter. That's 7.62. We're asked to round to the nearest whole number, so it's going to be approximately 8. Okay, so S is approximately 8. We're asked to omit cubic unit or side or whatever we are doing. So our answer is just going to be 8. Okay. Next, we're given a cone. It's a cone. So we know the volume of a cone is going to be 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Again, we go ahead, and again, it's always better to find the base area by the side. The base area is a circle, so and the radius is 5. So it's going to be B equals pi radius square. And so it's pi, the radius is 5 squared. Again, do not round. This is 5 times 5 is 25. Do not round, do not try to multiply by pi and round. You do not round until the very end, the very, very end. Okay, so we leave the B like that. And then we come back here and plug it in. So we know the volume. The volume here is 799 equals 1/3 times the B we just found is 25 pi times the height. We don't know. This is what we are looking for, the altitude, so we leave it as h. So now we do the algebra. Okay, I'll just put those two parentheses there. So you can either multiply 1/3 times 25 pi, which is the same thing as 25 pi divided by 3, and then you divide both sides by what you get. Or you can multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of the fraction, which is what I like to do. Okay, let's do that. Sometimes fraction messes us up, so I like to get rid of the fraction first. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, especially since everything on the right side is all multiplication, so that's cool. So we're going to do 799 times 3. So multiply 3 by both sides and to get rid of that fraction. So 2397, 2397, 2397, 2397. And then that will get rid of the fraction there. And then we have that times h. Okay. So again, what we did here was, I'm going to write it on a different color. What we did here, we multiply this by 3 and we multiply this by 3, and that will get rid of that. Okay, next we are going to solve for h. We divide both sides by 25 pi. So go 2397 divided by 25 pi. I would put that 25 pi inside parentheses. Okay, it's very important. Since we already have the number in our calculator, we can just select it. We can just say divided by, and then put the parentheses, and then do 25 pi, close the parentheses, 30.5. Okay, let me show you what I was talking about parentheses. Let's try to do this without putting that number in parentheses, see what happens. So if I take that number 2397, and then I say divided by, if I just put 25 pi like this, okay, I got 301, a totally different number. So the calculator would read it as 2397 divided by 25 and then multiply the answer by pi rather than multiplying 25 by pi. So that's what happened here. Again, make sure you put parentheses. It's very, 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 very important. So our answer here is 30.5, and we're asked to round to nearest 100th place. 10th, 100 is 2 decimal places. So that's going to, we look at the number after that is 9. So we round up. So it's 30.52. 30.52. But we're going to write our answer is just 30.52 and nothing more like that. Okay? The way the computer is set up, the program is set up to take your answers. Okay? One more. So here we're given the volume. It is a pyramid. It is a pyramid. If it is a pyramid, so we know the volume, write it down so we don't forget. That's base area times the height. And now the height is 8. We know that it's 8.1. And then it says it has the base has a right triangle. It has a right triangular base. So we can just draw a right triangle, and they have the 3 sides of it. So if it's a right triangle, it has to obey the Pythagorean theorem. So the hypotenuse has to be the longest leg, and then with the longest side, and then the other 2 legs, one is 8, one is 6, and we know the 2 legs has to form the right angle. They have to intersect at the right angle. So those are the base and the height. So 10 is just to know if you know the numbers you need for your base. So the base area is going to, because it's a triangle, it's going to be 1/2 times the base times the height. Again, this height here is the height of the prism, the whole prism. But the height here is the height of the base, which is the height of the triangle, which is the base. So it's the base and the height here. So it's going to be 1/2 times 6 times 8. Okay, so this is the whole thing that represents this base here. If we like, since it's all multiplication, we can bring everything in here and then simplify. So this is 1/3 times, now this base is going to be 1/2 times 6 times 8, and then times. Since it's the all multiplication, you can plug them into your calculator like that, and let's do that. I'm going to start from the right, do the 8.1 times 8 times 6, and if you like, you can do times 1/2 times 1/3, but I think instead of getting fraction, I'll just end this and then divide. Okay, so we're going to multiply by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2, so I will divide by 2, hit enter, and then whatever I get, I multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3. So I'm going to divide by 3 because I think it's easy at this time. So 64.8, and then we're asked to round to nearest tenth, so it's already rounded to nearest tenth, so we leave our answer like that, 64.8. So we just write 64.8. That's it. Again, always write all the formula from the beginning and then substitute whatever you're given and then solve. And it's helpful always to find the base area by the side before plugging it in. Okay, good luck.